Everybody cannot be your friend. You can't be everybody's cup of tea. In life, some people will care for you much more than others. Even if you show yourself friendly, you must be willing to accept the fact that not everyone will accept that, and that's okay. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Life Lessons with Law. My name is Loretta Gerard, and on this space, we like to have open, honest, authentic, heart-to-heart conversations on everything pertaining to love, life, faith, and womanhood. If this is your first time of watching this channel or listening to my podcast, you are most welcome. And if you are a returning listener or subscriber, thank you. Thank you so much. You make this worthwhile, so thank you. All right, so today I'm going to be sharing some of the lessons that I am learning about friendships. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, here are a few lessons that I'm learning about friendships. The first thing that I need you to know is that everybody needs friends. You cannot do this life alone. You can't do this life alone. And trust me when I say this, because if you're an introvert like me, it's easy to say, oh, I just want to be on my own. I don't want anyone around me. I don't like talking to people. I don't want to have friends. But look, human beings are social beings, and we exist, like we thrive in community, and we weren't created to be alone. In fact, in the beginning, what did God say? God said, it is not good for man to be alone. God didn't create us to just operate by ourselves and to just be alone in the world and exist in the world alone. You need friends. And the reason why I thought it was important to talk about this friendships is because I find now that particularly in our generation, people are, because of the way the world is now with social media, people are becoming more and more isolated, and there's just this agenda, it seems like, to push this, to project this belief that you don't need anyone, do you? You don't need people, you don't care about people. There's also this cancel culture that I think is just destroying the world and eating the world, and it doesn't give people space to be human, and it doesn't allow us to be more accepting, right? And we're just always quick to cancel people. You hear people say things like, oh, if anyone cut people off and blah, 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 blah. I used to be one of those people that I was like, oh, I don't want friends. I don't need friends. I can do battle by myself. You need people. Like you look, you need people. You need people around you. They bring joy into your life. When you have the right people around you, it makes your life feel full. It makes your life feel joyous. It makes your life, it adds color to your life when you have the right people around you. Emphasis on the right people around you. So yeah, you need people. I just wanted to establish that. It's just as a foundation for every other thing that we're going to say today, that I'm going to share today, okay? So just have that at the back of your mind that no, you can't do life alone. You need people. You need people. You need friends. All right? Even the Bible says that you should love your neighbor. You see? Love your neighbor. Do good to those around you. So you can't live in isolation. You can't live as an island. You need people around you. Your thoughts and your belief about friendships matter, because look, there's something about energy. If you have the wrong thoughts, even if you say something, like even if you pretend, at the end of the day, you're going to attract what you had in your mind. Let me explain this. If you want to have friends and you are open to friendships, but somewhere at the back of your mind, you feel like, oh, nobody can be trusted, or friends are bad, or friends are going to hurt you, you would see that at the end of the day, you are going to be repelling people. Somewhere deep in your mind, you want to have friends, you'd like to have friends, but because a belief system has been created, because somewhere at the back of your mind, you have believed the notion that people are bad, people are going to hurt you, you will end up releasing that energy into the world, and people perceive energy. It's just amazing how God has created the world. People perceive that energy and they will respond to you, not based on what you actually want or what you actually desire, but based on the energy that has been produced by the quality of your thoughts. Right. So if you're going to attract more friends, or if you want to attract the right people and you really truly desire to have friends, it starts with your mind. It starts with renewing your mind. It starts with rewiring your mind. And I want to say that a lot of times our attitude to friendships has a lot to do with trauma, has a lot to do with how we were raised. For some people, they were raised to believe that it's bad to have friends. So as you know, for some of you who are watching this, probably your parents have told you at some point in your life, don't have friends. Friends are bad. Only God is your friend. Or only your sisters and your brothers are your friends. Friends are not good. Friends will betray you. You grew up having that belief, and you grew up relating to people based on that lack of trust. For a lot of people, it's because of things that they have experienced or the trauma that they've experienced. They grew up believing that people are bad generally, or they grew up believing that people cannot be trusted, or maybe they grew up seeing what a so-called friend, did to their parent or their family, and then they end up living their life, projecting that even into their own lives, and that ends up shaping their perspective about friends and about friendships. So it begins with rewiring your mind, going back to ask yourself, what is it that is shaping how I see people? What is it that is shaping my perspective to friends? For some people, it might not even be their nurturing. It might just be things that they saw on social media, stories that people said about how this friend snatched this person's husband, how that friend killed this person, and blah, 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 blah. And all of that kind of sows a seed of, distrust in your heart. And then you find it hard to relate with people because you're operating based on those beliefs, right? Now, am I saying that these things don't matter and people don't betray people? That's not what I'm saying. Of course, humans are always gonna hume. But at the same time, two things can be true. It is possible that some friends could hurt you, but there's also some friends that have been nothing but blessing to people, but a blessing to the people around them. So there are people whose experience with friendships have been bad. It's been one of betrayal and hurt. But there are also people whose lives have been changed for the better because of the kinds of friends that they've had over time. So it depends on what you want to see. There's good in the world and there's bad in the world. So you choose what you want to see. You choose the kind of experience that you want to have. Okay? If you must have friends, you must show yourself friendly. The Bible says this in Proverbs 18:24. If you want to have friends, you must show yourself friendly. There's a level of vulnerability that is required if you're going to have friends. You must be willing to put yourself out there, and you must be willing to receive rejection, because not everyone is going to accept you. And I'll tell you a story personally. There used to be someone that I know that I really liked this person, and I really wanted this person to be my friend. Now, trust me, I'm quite introverted, so it means that I don't have a lot of people close to me. Because I can't keep so many friends naturally. So it takes a lot of emotional and mental energy for me to keep people around me. I want to be able to invest in the friendships and the relationships that I have. So I can't keep a lot of people close to me. But there was this person that I really liked this person, and I really wanted this person to be my friend. And so I'll try to communicate with this person, reach out to this person. I tried to show myself friendly to this person. I put myself out there, and I was vulnerable, which I'm hardly vulnerable to people that I don't really know because I'm kind of guarded. But I was willing to be vulnerable to this person. But I received the cold shoulder. It hurt. It hurt my pride because I was like, but I'm a good person. I'm a good friend to have. Like, why won't you, don't you want to be my friend? But my point is that even if you show yourself friendly, you must be willing to accept the fact that not everyone will accept that. And that's okay. Like, rejection is real, and a lot of people find it hard to put themselves out there to try to make friends because they're scared that energy might not be reciprocated. But the truth is that if you don't put yourself out there, you never know. You might end up finding a good friend. I felt bad when that person treated me that way, but then I just understood that, look, it's okay. Right, I did what I could do, but I can't always be someone's cup of tea. And that's okay. God will bring the right people to me when it's time. But the most important thing is that you should be willing to put yourself out there if you're going to have friends. Okay? And that leads me to my next point. The whole world doesn't need to like you. And I think the mistake that we tend to make is, like, sometimes we go to the extreme and we want everybody to be our friend. Everybody cannot be your friend. You can't be everybody's cup of tea. In life, some people will care for you much more than others. Just like the story I just mentioned, I just told you. It doesn't mean that this person that I try to be friends with is a bad person. I'm probably not the kind of friend that she wants. I'm probably not the kind of person that she wants to have in her life. And that's okay. People are not bad simply because they did not welcome you into their circle. You just are not their cup of tea. You're probably just not the kind of friend that they want. And that is okay. You will find your tribe. So yeah, you can't be everyone. You're not ice cream. Everybody cannot like you. And I think it's a good thing to have that at the back of your mind so that you don't have to pretend, or you don't have to be someone that you're not just because you're trying to be friends with someone, or just because you're trying to get into someone's good books. Okay? You don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. And everybody cannot be your cup of tea. And that is okay. God will send your tribe to you. God will bring people into your life who will actually care about you. But you must be willing to open yourself up. All right? And that leads me to my next point. When it comes to friendships, you must be willing to give. It is give and take. It is give and take. A lot of people are selfish when it comes to their friendships. And I had to learn this, like, over time, because a friendship it should be you give, you receive. But we tend to make that mistake of making it all about us. It's not all about you. So you must be willing to pour into it as much as the other person is pouring into you. So 2 people or 3 people, it's just about giving and receiving. You give and you receive. You don't make it all about you. Good friendships are about receiving and also giving. So you be there for your friend as much as your friend is also there for you. Don't try to be the center of the friendship. Okay, that is selfish. So that's another thing that I'm learning about relationships, about friendships. It is give and take. Pour into it as much as the other person is pouring into you. And also, and you are not wrong for also wanting to receive. And when I talk about giving and receiving, I'm not just talking about like financial or material things. I'm talking also about the emotional resources, the time that goes into it as well. Just also assess it to be sure that it's not one-sided, and sure that you're not the only one who's also always doing the giving without receiving anything. If that's the case, it's one-sided, and you probably should have a conversation with your friend about that. Bear in mind that I said have a conversation. I didn't say, oh, cut off. because you're dealing with a human being. Sometimes people don't know. And the beautiful thing about friendships that you can be honest with someone, and the person is willing to learn and grow, and the person truly loves and cares about you. They'll be willing to open themselves up to learn and be better. So you can have a conversation about the other about it and say, look, I feel like I'm the only one who's always doing the calling, who's always doing the texting, have a conversation about it. And the person might just be willing to change. Be willing to forgive. I've said this before. I don't believe in this cancel culture. Like, humans are not perfect. You are not perfect. Your friends will not be perfect. Don't have these high and lofty expectations of people who have flesh and blood just like you. They are not Jesus Christ. They will fail. They will falter. They will fall short of your expectations. 100%. Trust me. People will fail because nobody is perfect. So be willing to forgive. And let me just balance this, right? Because there's also the extreme. When people show you who they are, believe them. When you have a friend who is constantly jealous of your achievements, or always talking you down, or always you just know that when you spend time with this person, you always just feel less than yourself. This person doesn't add value to your life. You find yourself that you're always competing. Both of you, it seems like you people are in one kind of invisible competition. Or maybe this person, you see that this person is always envious of your success or doesn't wish you well. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. That's not a friend. Look, you can be cordial with people. You can be cordial with people without being close to them. You can wish people well, but from a distance. You can keep people at arm's length. You don't want to constantly be in a relationship or in a friendship with someone who doesn't want the best for you. That's not a friendship. Trust me. But understand that, generally speaking, nobody's perfect. Your friends might do something that you probably didn't expect them to do. Again, not something that might hurt you, like hurt your sense of self, or hurt you deeply, like emotionally. If you have a friend, I'm not saying that if, for example, your friend snatched your partner, for example, that you should not come and say, oh, you keep being friends. That one is hard though. So know the balance. What I'm just saying is that people will fail, people will fall short of your expectations, so you should be willing to forgive. All right, but again, there's an extreme to that you should also be careful of. Don't keep being friends with someone who wants to end your life or who wants to make your life a living hell. That's not a friend. That's an enemy. So don't call enemy friend. Okay, I think I've kind of like emphasized that a lot. So let's move on. The next thing I'll say is it is important to stratify your relationships. I have a whole podcast episode about navigating friendships in your 30s. So you can listen to that episode. It's also here on YouTube, or you can go to anywhere you get your podcasts from and just listen to that. I talked at length about friendships and the need to stratify relationships. So you can go and listen to that. Okay. But what I mean by stratifying relationships is, look, everybody cannot be number one in your life. And that kind of ties back to what I said about you can't always be everybody's cup of tea. And I learned this a few years ago, that you can't, if someone places you in category D, don't place them in category A. Because when you place someone who has put you in category D, in category A, you have high expectations of them. And they will always fall short of those expectations. Why? Because you are not number one in their life. So know where you stand in people's lives and treat them accordingly. It's not a bad thing. It's a healthy way to do relationships. And you can't call everybody friend. Like, I have a label for every single person in my life. I know the people I call friends. I know the people that I call close friends. I know the people that I call inner circle. I know the people that I call acquaintances. I know the people that I call colleagues. And for all of these different relationships, I know how I relate with people. I know how I relate with them. I know what to expect of them. And the reason is so that because at the end of the day, it helps you to manage expectations. It helps you to know what to expect from this person or that person. There are certain things that I expect from the people who are in my inner circle that I don't expect from people who are that I'm familiar with, or people that are just acquaintances. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if, for example, someone in my inner circle doesn't wish me happy birthday on my birthday, I have the right to be upset about that and to have a conversation with the person about that. How could you do that? Compared to if someone that's just an acquaintance, or someone who's just like a distant acquaintance, or someone that I just know, or someone that's just a colleague doesn't wish me a happy birthday, I won't lose my sleep over that. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, stratifying your relationships helps you to manage expectations. You can be cordial with people without them being so close to you. Okay? So yeah, stratify your relationships. The final thing that I would say is be willing to walk away from bad friendships. And bad friendships looks like different things to different people. For me, I don't like to be in a friendship with someone that constantly talks down about other people. I can't stay in such an environment. I can't be in a friendship with someone who always has something negative to say, either about me or about other people. I can't stay there. So someone who's I can't be in a close friendship with someone that I feel like anytime I'm with this person, my energy is just drained, or I just feel like there's some people that maybe when you relate with them, your energy is just down. You just feel like you're in this invisible, unhealthy competition. I can't deal in such environments. I can't deal. So bad friendships might look like something completely different to you. You define what that is for you, but be willing to walk away from it. Be willing to walk away from things and situations and people that don't serve you. And what I mean is, if this person is making your life complicated, you don't have to. Life is short. You don't have to waste your life hanging and spending your time, something you will never get back, around people who suck life out of you. Okay, so be willing to walk away from bad friendships. And when I say this, I don't mean cut people off. Like I said, you can be cordial with people without being close to them. You can wish people well without them being in your inner circle. I have so many people in my life. I wish you well. I love you with the love of God. I care about you, but just from a distance. I can't let you get close to me. Do you understand? And it's the same thing true for other people, even with me. Not that they don't care about me, but they'd just rather that I be at arm's length from them. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to come in here and share about the things I'm learning about friendships. But I'll just wrap up by saying that friendship is a beautiful thing. It's something that God gave us to add value to our lives. And you don't have to live life alone. There's so many people, amazing people in the world who can add beauty to your life. I'm praying for you that you find your tribe. I'm also praying for me that I find my tribe. But what I want to leave with you is, besides expecting people to be good to you, make it a point of duty to be good to other people. I try to remind myself every day that as much as I want people to add value to my life, I also pray that God opens my eyes to see how I can add value to another person's life. Because it's not just all about me and what I want or what I desire or what I want people to do for me or what I want people to be to me. It's also what I can do for other people, what I can be to other people. Right? So I'm also praying for you that God brings people into your life, that He also equips you to be a blessing to someone else. All right. I hope you found this video insightful and useful. And if there's any lesson, or if there are any lessons that you have learned about friendships, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, I really want to hear your thoughts.